Hey guys, I'm gonna give a quick little tutorial on how to sew your point shoes. So I use dental floss when I sew point shoes. So it's just the normal kind from like Walmart, dollar store, wherever. And then I take my needle and pull off really more than I need. And then pull the two ends together, tie it in a little knot. I don't know if you can really see that, but um, so that then the dental floss is basically twice as strong to hold the elastic on your shoes. I already cut and measured the elastic to this girl's ankle. So we're gonna go ahead, and you want that elastic pretty close to that center line in the shoe. And you want it at an angle outwards. So once you've done that, I'm gonna go ahead and poke the needle through. And you're just gonna do this back and forth right underneath where the drawstring is. So we're going right on that line, basically between the drawstring and the satin. You really don't want to poke through the part where the drawstring is, because that could risk us sewing the drawstring to the shoe, which means it won't actually hold. Just gonna keep going back and forth. And this doesn't need to be a super straight line. We're basically just trying to get the elastic attached so that we can finish sewing this. Once I've gone all the way through, you can kind of see it right there. There's a little line on the inside and the outside. Now I'm gonna go back and towards the way we came from. And I'm gonna get it so that the needle is on the outside of the shoe. Then I'm gonna flip this around so you can see a little better. I'm gonna go ahead and start going, I'm over top of the drawstring. So we're going just through the elastic on the top, and it's gonna make a little loop right there. Then I'm gonna go right on that line under and poke through. So now it comes back out the side. You're just gonna keep doing this like anywhere between like 7 and 9 times. Really, it doesn't matter how many, but the more you do it, the better attached your shoe is. And kind of the game with this is more is more. You want your ribbon and elastic attached as well as possible so you don't risk them falling off in class or at a show. I'm sorry for the bad camera angles. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. So now once you've gone back and forth a couple times, you can kind of see, it'll focus, the little lines. You just keep going and until you get to the other end of your elastic. Okay, so now that I'm pretty well the other end, I'm gonna go ahead and just poke the needle back through so that it's down towards the bottom of your elastic. It's on the lower line. and it is now on the inside. Now all you're gonna do is knot it. I prefer to knot it twice just because it can never be too secure. And then go ahead, cut off the excess, and you're good. So then there's what the inside looks like. If we can get it to focus. There we go. And then the outside, and this does not have to be pretty. It basically just has to stay on, but you want to be able to yank at this and it to not go anywhere. I already did the elastic on the other one, so then you just go ahead and do the exact same thing on the other side. It should make a loop like this. And there's your elastic. So I always do my elastic first because I find it easier. Once I'm done doing the elastic, I like to flip it back so it's out of the way. And then here's the ribbon. I've already burnt the edge of the ribbon so that it can't fray. You can also use nail polish. I just find using a lighter and burning them works the best. I'm gonna go ahead and re-knot the end of my thread because I've got enough left over from doing the elastic to do the ribbons. I roll the bottom of the ribbon about twice, basically, and make a cleaner edge, and also in the off chance that it does fray, it gives basically just some extra leeway. Now I'm going with the edge right along that seam. You can also fold this down, and you want your ribbon pretty well along the edge when you fold it. I just know with this particular pair of shoes, folding it down is right along that seam. Then you're going to do the same process we just did. Go ahead and sew through, make a straight line. The ribbons are normally easier to do than the elastic, just because it takes a little less time. Okay, so now that I'm on the edge and my needle is on the outside, we'll start going up and over. And then along that baseline we made. Okay, now that I'm at the end, I'm just gonna go ahead and put it back through on the bottom so that I can make the end knot. And just go ahead and double knot it. So there's the inside, and there's the outside. Your ribbons don't have to be quite as well attached as your elastic. Your elastic is what's keeping your shoes on your feet. The ribbons help, but it's basically just decoration. When you're looking at your ribbons, if you pull them up, they should pull straight up. You want to try not to do them at an angle, or when you tie them, they're going to give that little wrinkle. Well, that's that, girlies. If you have any questions, let me know.